What if I told you the biggest surprise in Spider-Man? Brand New Day wasn't Spider-Man, it was Hulk. Not just Hulk, Savage Hulk. Marvel didn't just bring him back for a cool action sequence. They quietly reminded everyone why Bruce Banner has spent his entire life terrified of the monster inside him. And once you understand what actually happened in this movie, you'll realize this isn't just another Hulk fight. It could be the beginning of something much bigger for the MCU. So let's break it all down. The movie actually introduces Bruce Banner in a surprisingly peaceful way. Instead of smashing buildings, he's standing inside a university classroom, teaching advanced quantum physics. At first, it almost feels strange seeing Bruce living a normal life again. But then something interesting happens. The students stop talking about science and start asking the same question Marvel fans have argued about for years. Why did Thanos wipe out half of all life instead of simply creating more resources? Why not double the food instead of killing billions? What's fascinating is that this tells us something about the MCU itself. Everyone inside this universe already knows why Thanos snapped. The events of Infinity War and Endgame aren't hidden history anymore. They're being studied, questioned, and debated just like real historical events. Bruce never really answers the question. Instead, the movie quickly brushes it aside with a small joke before moving on. But the conversation sets up something much more important. Peter Parker notices a strange device attached to Bruce Banner, a small inhibitor. Naturally, Peter wants to know exactly what it does. Bruce explains that the inhibitor constantly regulates the gamma radiation flowing through his body. It's the reason Hulk doesn't suddenly appear whenever Bruce loses emotional control. And that's an important detail, because technically, Bruce isn't simply Bruce Banner anymore. He's Professor Hulk, the version where Bruce's intelligence and Hulk's body coexist. But while Bruce is teaching, he isn't fully relying on Professor Hulk's natural balance. He's actively using this inhibitor to keep everything under control. It's basically acting like an external safety lock. One mistake, one failure, and the monster comes back. That fear has never truly disappeared. Even after everything Bruce has accomplished, part of him still believes the beast inside could take over again at any moment. That's why he never goes anywhere without the inhibitor. It's become part of his daily life, almost like carrying emergency brakes everywhere you go. The movie also quietly reminds us that this technology didn't appear overnight. Years ago, Tony Stark and Bruce Banner worked together on countless projects involving gamma research. Tony helped Bruce understand how to contain Hulk, while Bruce helped Tony build technology powerful enough to survive Hulk. Their partnership was always about solving one impossible problem. How do you control something that was never meant to be controlled? This inhibitor is another result of that collaboration. But then Peter Parker makes a decision that could have enormous consequences. Instead of viewing Bruce's inhibitor as something unique to gamma radiation, Peter studies its core technology and upgrades the concept into something universal, a suppression device capable of neutralizing enhanced abilities. At first glance, it sounds brilliant, a non-lethal way to stop dangerous, superpowered individuals. But once you think about it, it's also incredibly dangerous. Because if governments get their hands on this technology, every mutant, every enhanced human, every superhero could be neutralized within seconds simply by attaching one of these devices. And if you've read the X-Men comics, you already know exactly where this idea leads. Anti-mutant suppression collars, technology designed specifically to strip mutants of their powers. Without realizing it, Spider-Man may have just created one of the most dangerous weapons the MCU has ever seen. And this is only the beginning, because moments later, Jean Grey enters the story, and everything completely falls apart. Last time, we talked about Bruce Banner's inhibitor, and how Spider-Man may have unknowingly created technology that could one day be weaponized against every enhanced being on Earth. But that's nothing compared to what happens next, because this is the exact moment Marvel brings back the Hulk we've been waiting years to see, Savage Hulk. Jean Grey launches a psychic attack, attempting to infiltrate a heavily secured DODC facility by using Bruce Banner. Her target isn't Hulk, it's Bruce's mind. Using her telepathic abilities, she forces her way into Professor Hulk's consciousness, hoping to extract classified information hidden deep inside his memories. Meanwhile, inside the facility, one man has already sealed himself behind an incredibly reinforced containment chamber, William Misker. The bunker is built to withstand almost anything. Even Hulk struggles to tear it apart. And that's exactly why Spider-Man and Punisher arrive. Spider-Man is there to stop Hulk before things spiral completely out of control. Punisher? Honestly, even the movie jokes that he's mostly there trying not to get himself killed. At first, Spider-Man believes Bruce can still be saved. He keeps trying to calm Hulk down while searching for an opening to activate the inhibitor. Eventually, he actually manages to suppress Hulk for a brief moment, but that creates an even bigger problem, because Jean Grey is now able to push even deeper into Bruce Banner's mind. And that's where Marvel quietly references one of the most fascinating parts of Hulk lore. Bruce Banner's mind isn't occupied by one personality. reality. Or two, it's filled with multiple identities, different versions of Hulk, different emotional manifestations, each representing a different side of Bruce's fractured psyche. Professor Hulk is only one of them, but buried beneath all of them is the original monster, Savage Hulk, the pure embodiment of Bruce's rage. And unlike Professor Hulk, Savage Hulk absolutely hates anyone invading his mind. Think about it. From Savage Hulk's perspective, none of this would have happened if he had been in control from the beginning. No psychic invasion, no manipulation, no telepathic takeover. Bruce tried to suppress the monster. Now the monster is fighting back. The moment Jean Grey attempts to regain control, everything changes. Savage Hulk finally wakes up, not because someone summoned him, but because he refuses to let anyone control his mind. With one overwhelming psychic outburst, he completely throws Jean Grey out of Bruce's consciousness. And this is actually comic accurate. Even Professor X, arguably the most powerful telepath on Earth, has struggled to fully dominate Savage Hulk's mind. His rage is simply too overwhelming. Jean Grey wasn't controlling Savage Hulk, she was controlling Professor Hulk. The second Savage Hulk takes over, her advantage completely disappears. That's why Marvel can confidently say, Savage Hulk has officially returned, and the transformation reflects it perfectly. Bruce's clothes begin ripping apart, his body expands far beyond Professor Hulk's size, his muscles continue growing. Even Spider-Man freezes for a second, almost unable to believe what he's looking at. This isn't the calm, intelligent Hulk we've watched for years. This is something far more dangerous, the real monster. And honestly, this scene reminds everyone just how much Professor Hulk has been limiting Hulk's true potential. Then, the fight begins. Not Hulk versus a villain, Hulk versus Spider-Man. Up until now, Peter had been fighting someone who could still think, someone willing to listen, someone capable of reason. That version is gone. Now there's only one rule, no Banner, only Hulk, and Savage Hulk attacks with absolutely zero restraint. Every punch feels heavier. Every movement is more violent. Every second becomes harder to survive. Peter tries once again to attach the inhibitor around Hulk's neck, but it never works, because Hulk's skin is simply too durable. Bullets barely affect him. A small device has no chance. The battle tears through the entire DODC facility. Buildings collapse. Concrete explodes. Spider-Man desperately covers Hulk using massive webs, trying to pin him beneath collapsing debris. Visually, it's a cool scene, but honestly, this is where the movie slightly undercuts Savage Hulk, because comic fans know this version of Hulk has carried mountains, actual mountain ranges. Compared to that, being trapped under chunks of concrete shouldn't slow him down at all. Realistically, Savage Hulk should have ripped through every web and every piece of rubble within seconds. That would have made him feel truly unstoppable. Instead, the movie weakens him just enough to keep the fight going. It's still entertaining, but it could have been even more terrifying. Just when it looks like Spider-Man has finally found a way to stop the fight, everything falls apart. Savage Hulk breaks free. He overwhelms Peter with pure brute force, grabs him by the throat, and comes within seconds of killing him. There's no hesitation, no mercy, no Bruce Banner holding him back anymore. This is exactly what Savage Hulk is supposed to be, a force of nature. Then, something unexpected happens. Spider-Man looks directly into Hulk's eyes and says one simple word, friend. For a brief moment, Hulk stops. The rage doesn't disappear, but something inside him responds. The movie never explains exactly why, but there are a couple of interesting possibilities. Maybe Peter reminds Hulk of someone Bruce once trusted. Maybe seeing another hero trying to save him instead of destroy him reaches the small piece of Banner still buried inside. Or, there's another theory, Black Widow. Throughout the MCU, Natasha was one of the few people who could calm Hulk down without fighting him. She's also known as the Black Widow, another spider. Maybe Marvel is subtly suggesting that Peter unintentionally triggered an emotional memory connected to Natasha. Whether that's intentional or not, Hulk hesitates, and that hesitation saves Spider-Man's life. But then, the movie makes another controversial decision. The collapsing structure finally gives way, and Hulk falls beneath the massive weight of the debris. Visually, it's dramatic. Logically, it's harder to accept, because this is Savage Hulk. Comic fans know he's survived far worse. He's lifted mountains. He's endured continent-level impacts, so watching ordinary concrete keep him pinned down feels off. If Marvel really wanted Savage Hulk to feel unstoppable, he should have shattered everything in seconds. Instead, it almost looks like Spider-Man defeated him, not because Peter was stronger, but because the script needed the fight to end. That's probably the biggest criticism fans have with this sequence. The action is exciting, but Savage Hulk deserved to look even more terrifying. After the battle, Bruce Banner finally regains consciousness, and the first thing he asks isn't about the mission, it's about the damage. His face says everything. He's terrified. Terrified that Hulk may have hurt innocent people. Terrified that he lost control again. For Bruce, every transformation still feels like waking up after a nightmare. He never knows what happened while the monster was in control. Shortly afterward, government forces arrive. Bruce is taken away under heavy security, and then he completely disappears from the movie. He doesn't return for the final battle. He doesn't help Spider-Man again. Marvel simply removes him from the story, which immediately raises several questions. Where did they take Bruce? Is he imprisoned, being monitored, or is the DODC preparing to experiment on him? One thing is becoming very clear. Professor Hulk no longer seems capable of controlling Savage Hulk. That balance Bruce worked so hard to achieve is broken completely, and even the inhibitor may no longer be enough. Originally, that device was designed to regulate Professor Hulk's gamma state, but Savage Hulk isn't Professor Hulk. He's far more primal, far more unpredictable. There's a real possibility that this version could eventually become powerful enough to ignore the inhibitor entirely. If that happens, Bruce loses the last safety mechanism he has left, and that's a terrifying thought. There's another clue the movie quietly leaves behind. Bruce is now responsible for massive destruction inside a government facility. From the DODC's perspective, it doesn't matter whether Banner was in control or not. Hulk caused the damage. That alone could justify locking Bruce away in a high-security gamma containment facility. Interestingly, Marvel has shown similar government-controlled prisons before. We've already seen enhanced individuals kept under strict supervision, so Bruce ending up in one of those facilities wouldn't be surprising at all. And if he is locked away, Savage Hulk may only become even angrier, which could be exactly what Marvel is building toward next. So where does Bruce Banner go after the events of Spider-Man Brand New Day? Marvel never gives us a direct answer, but the clues are definitely there. Bruce just lost control inside a government facility. Savage Hulk caused catastrophic damage. From the DODC's perspective, Bruce isn't just another Avenger anymore. He's a global threat, which means there's a very real chance they've taken him into custody, not to help him, but to study him. And if that's true, things could get much worse. We've already seen the DODC dealing with enhanced individuals before. They don't simply arrest them, they analyze them, contain them, experiment on them. If Bruce ends up inside one of those facilities, Savage Hulk isn't going to stay quiet for long. In fact, trying to imprison him could make him even more dangerous. There's another surprise the movie quietly avoids. Bruce now has a son. Many fans expected Marvel to tease that storyline here, but they never even mention him. That doesn't mean they've forgotten. It probably means they're saving him for something much bigger, because introducing Hulk's son completely changes Bruce's future. Now, Hulk isn't just protecting himself anymore. He has family, and that's exactly the kind of emotional trigger Marvel loves using. Around the same time, Mark Ruffalo made an interesting comment during an interview. He joked that Kevin Feige basically handed him a punch card. Every Hulk appearance fills another slot, and after enough appearances, maybe he'd finally earn his own solo movie. Obviously, he was joking, but fans immediately started wondering if Marvel was quietly teasing Hulk's future. Treat this as speculation rather than confirmation. And honestly, the timing couldn't be better. Director Destin Daniel Cretton has also spoken positively about Hulk, which only adds more fuel to the discussion. After years of rumors, a solo Hulk project suddenly doesn't feel impossible anymore. But if Marvel finally gives Hulk his own movie, what story do they tell? For most fans, there's only one answer: World War Hulk, or maybe World Breaker Hulk. And here's why that makes so much sense. The multiverse saga is heading toward Avengers, Doomsday, followed by Secret Wars. If Marvel adapts Battleworld the way many fans expect, countless universes could collide into one broken reality. That creates the perfect stage for Hulk. Imagine Doom targeting Bruce's son, or threatening the only family Hulk has left. For Savage Hulk, that isn't just another battle, that's personal. And when Hulk fights because of rage alone, he becomes something far more terrifying. That's exactly how you begin creating World Breaker Hulk. Comic fans already know what happens when Hulk reaches that level. The Avengers can't stop him. Almost no one can. His strength keeps increasing with his anger, until entire cities and even worlds are at risk. That's the version fans have wanted to see on screen for years. Not Professor Hulk, not Smart Hulk, the unstoppable monster. There's another possibility too. Instead of simply locking Bruce away, what if the DODC starts experimenting on him, trying to weaponize gamma radiation, trying to create something even stronger? That opens the door to another terrifying version of the character. Immortal Hulk, a Hulk that's almost impossible to kill, a Hulk that keeps coming back no matter what. It's probably too early for Marvel to introduce that version, but after everything this movie sets up, the possibility is definitely there. One thing feels clear after watching Spider-Man Brand New Day. Marvel didn't bring Savage Hulk back just for one cool fight scene. They reminded us why Bruce Banner has feared this monster for his entire life, and they may have just planted the seeds for Hulk's biggest storyline in the MCU. Whether that becomes World War Hulk, World Breaker Hulk, or something completely unexpected, Savage Hulk is finally back. And this time, he doesn't look like he's going anywhere, ending CTA. But what do you think? Was this simply a one-time fan service moment, or was Marvel secretly setting up the future of Hulk? And if Hulk does return, which version do you want to see first? World War Hulk, World Breaker Hulk, or Immortal Hulk? Let me know your theory in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe, because the deeper Marvel's multiverse gets, the crazier these hidden details become.